Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Wanted to talk about new makeup and whether it's something I'm considering purchasing. And there'll be a long list of like maybe considering, and then the list of what I buy would be like much smaller. And then there's a lot of stuff here that is definitely not for me. And I thought we would talk about it today. Kind of like an old-fashioned anti-haul. I do have my phone with me. I will post photos for you so you can see what we're talking about. I'm just gonna go to Trend Moods Instagram. I feel like that's where I get a really good idea of whether these new releases are for me. The first one I see is actually from Pat McGrath. And I'll tell you, the packaging is super cute. It's some lip glosses, limited edition lip glosses in heart-shaped vials. And I was like, ooh, what is this? And then when I realized it was just, lip gloss, but in little heart shapes, I'm okay. I have so many lip glosses, I don't need any, but I hear the Pat McGrath formula is beautiful. There are two shades. The nude looks a little bit more appealing to me, and kind of that, I don't know, almost orangey red is really not for me, but that's okay. There is a new release from Melt. There is an interesting eyeshadow stack where they're all kind of nudes. How many shades? 1, 2, 3. There's 5 shades. And what's interesting is that it comes kind of like in the cylindrical packaging and each little section, but it kind of reminds me of the Melt stacks, like the old-fashioned stacks, but it's very different. I wonder if they're still magnetized together like they used to be, but this looks like it could be more cardboard packaging than plastic. I don't know. And weren't there usually only 4 shades in a stack? I could be remembering this wrong because I've never had a stack, but I've seen a lot of promo pics for it. So that's interesting, but they're just your basic, nude shades. I feel like I can pass on that. But there are also some little mini lipsticks. I've never tried any from Melt. There is a set of nudes and a set of reds, and the reds kind of... But I have to remind myself, I have way so much lipstick, I probably don't need either of these, but they did kind of pique my interest. Oh, look at this. There is a new Sugar Pill Valentine's Day release. Looks like we have some pressed eyeshadows, and there are some liquid lip colors. I am not a liquid lipstick fan. There's a small handful of liquid lipstick formulas that I like. I've not tried the Sugar Pill ones, but from what I've read, they tend to be more along the lines of they dry down completely matte. And that never really does well for me and my 46-year-old lips. I feel like it really accentuates the fine lines I have on my lips, the lines around my lips, and then on top of that, it just dries it down to like a little shriveled raisin. I'm already losing collagen in my lips, let's not draw attention to it. This, I think, is a formula that dries completely down, and that would not be for me. But there is also a high shine gloss. Although these are interesting, and I really do like the shade Love Bug. Ooh, that bright kind of sparkly red is definitely not for me. Too Faced has a new collection. It's their teddy bear collection. Remember when they used to do those teddy bear hair brushes? Boy, those have been out for a while. I used to have a set. I might still have them somewhere if I were to look in my brush drawer. This is just an eyeshadow palette, a nude with a little bit of corally pink thrown in there, some sort of face powder. What's the face powder? It just says a face powder. I don't know, it looks kind of dark, and it looks like it might have a gold overspray. There's a little heart that the teddy bear is kind of like holding on to, or is right in the center of its chest. That doesn't look interesting. And then there's a lip injection gloss. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the lip injection gloss. I have never really been a big fan of Too Faced powders. It's been a while since I've had any. I have tried the Poreless Matte powder. I have tried their Born This Way loose powder, their peach loose powder. I just end up looking too dry. They are not the sort of powders that work well on my skin. The eyeshadow palette, I don't know, it looks different, but not that different from the one they released last year in 2020. The Born This Way Natural Nudes, which I actually really like. I think it's a beautiful palette. I like the way that it works. There's a couple of flaky shades in there that don't work for me, the more metallic shades, but I feel like And let me know what your experience has been, but I feel like Too Faced is very hit or miss. Like sometimes their eyeshadow formula is really nice and sometimes it's like terrible. And I don't know that I would feel comfortable just like buying this without watching reviews. This doesn't do it for me. And it's been a long time. I think the last time I was excited about anything that Too Faced did was last year's eyeshadow palette Natural Nudes. And before that, I had gone like 3 or plus years since buying anything. I don't frequently buy from Too Faced anymore. And they used to kind of be a staple company for me. This, it says a lot. Oh, hello. All right. So there's a new eyeshadow palette from Viseart. Attendu? Is that how you say it? Remember, I don't speak French. This is their eyeshadow palette Paris Love Letter Entendu. Okay, so this kind of is reminding me a little bit. The green, kind of the corally shades in there, that violet. It reminds me of the Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace palette. The, oh, Tiny Marvels. I think that's what it was called, which I have and I really love. But I love the Viseart formula. And some of these mixtures, you've got some really cool things going on. You've got some warm stuff and some neutrals. Oh, it looks so pretty. That green for spring. I don't need it, but I love it. All right, probably not, but don't be surprised if you see me with it later. All right, so I've already seen this and it doesn't really do it for me, but it is the Melrose collection from ColourPop. It looks like it's apparently now available on their website because it launched first at Ulta. But the eyeshadow palette looks like every other kind of neutral with some sparkle that I've seen from ColourPop in a while. Their Luxe glosses, okay. Their pressed blushes, all right. And then some like velvety hair ties. Really? I don't know. I'm not excited about this. So this is kind of like a, yeah, never gonna happen. Looks like Nabla Cosmetics has a mascara. What's it called? Their Vicious mascara. And it's supposed to intensify lashes, leaving the tips elongated, lifted, and separated. It's a vinyl formula, strategically combined with a claw-shaped comb. I want to know what this brush looks like. Interesting. I don't always do well with these rubber bristle wands, but I could see how that might be more separating. And the difference, wow. The look between no mascara and mascara is pretty dramatic. Huh, I don't know. There's a new release from BH Cosmetics. It's their BFF collab. You know, I'm looking at this. The eyeshadow palette is definitely something that is too large. I feel like there's a lot of blue in there. There's a lot of colors that I probably wouldn't use, although I do really like the BH formula. I have been keeping it right here on my desk. I have their Beautiful in Barcelona. I like their eyeshadow formula, but this is the only palette I have from them. If this is kind of what I can expect, I think that it would be interesting. This palette definitely isn't for me. The face palette looks interesting. And then there are little duos of gloss and matte lipstick. So I would, if anything, I would be interested in that face palette, but I'm probably not gonna pick any of this up. Good Molecules has a new acne formula out. This is their BHA Clarifying Gel Cream. I like Good Molecules because they're really affordable. They kind of remind me of Inky List, Ordinary, things like that, but it's formulated with salicylic acid and Centella asiatica. So it's gonna help reduce the redness from any acne that you have, and the BHA is also gonna help to make sure that it helps to clear the skin. It's only $10 and I have been struggling with stuff on my chin for months now, and I don't know. This is interesting. This might be one I'd be interesting to drop in my cart next time I make a Beautylish purchase. There's a new highlighter from Chanel. I haven't bought any Chanel makeup in probably 7 or 8 years. It's definitely, there are some brands that are intriguing to me, but I don't know that the price is always worth it. And this is their Pearls de Lumiere. and it's an illuminating, oh, it's a blush powder. Oh, so it's not a highlight, it's a blush powder. Huh. I just ordered something else that is kind of like a glowy blush, and I think that's probably gonna fill that little niche for me, and I'm not going to need this, but it's so pretty, isn't it? Violet Voss has a new eyeshadow palette. It's called their I Love You Cherry Munch. And I'm sure it's one of those things that's supposed to go along with Valentine's Day. This is definitely, first of all, the color story is not something I would find to be something I would reach for on the regular. There are a lot of more pinky red tones in here. There are some deeper tones, but it's definitely not for me. And I have been trying to remind myself that I don't tend to reach for really large eyeshadow palettes. So this is definitely not something that is on my to purchase list. Oh, there's something from Marc Jacobs and I've already made a purchase. All right, this should be coming. It's their Cafe collection and they have a new Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. I ordered this. I hope I got the right shade, but the one thing that I noticed is that you're only getting 15 mils. That's like half an ounce. And normally foundations are usually a full ounce. So it's interesting that this is being sold as a concealer and a foundation, and you're only getting a half an ounce. So that was interesting. The other thing that they have is this large compact. It has that same kind of square with rounded edges compact. I know a lot of people think it looks like Soul Body, but before Soul Body was coming out with this packaging, it was Marc Jacobs packaging from like a long time ago. And when I was looking at this, there are three things in this compact. There is a blush, a contour, and a highlight. And the bronzer contour, it's actually the Tantastic shade. And I'm like, I already have that. Do I need it again? And then to try, and I am not usually a fan of products that come, you know, where you need a really small brush to get in and not hit any of the other product. I tend to prefer larger pan sizes when it comes to face products. There are some compacts that I have where there's multiple products in there and I make it work, but it's not my preferred method. And I think it might be a great way if you've never tried any of these or you've always wanted to try that coconut bronzer from Marc Jacobs and maybe try a blush and a highlight. It's a great way to sample products, but I don't like it when the pans are this narrow. So I skipped that, but I did get the concealer foundation. I'm curious to see how it works. This is really pretty. It's from Menagerie Cosmetics. I wonder if they're an indie brand. I haven't heard about them a lot. They have an eyeshadow palette called the Flight Club. I always think Fight Club and I think that pink bar of soap, but this is really beautiful. It's all, you know, lavenders and purples, and there's like one neutral color and one kind of creamy color in there. It's definitely not something that I would get a lot of use out of, but it does make me go, ooh, that's so pretty. So this is already out. It's one of those things that I've seen reviews for already, and it didn't really catch my attention. It's the new eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. It's their Wild West. I can't remember the last time I bought an Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. It's been a while. But I remember loving Naked and the Naked 3. I didn't get Naked 2 because I wasn't into cool eyeshadows. But there have been a lot of iterations like the Naked Cherry, the Naked Heat, the Naked Honey, which is still one that every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that one's so pretty. And the Naked Reloaded. There's a lot of Naked palettes out there. And this one is just slightly above their Ultraviolet, their purple palette that didn't ugh. I don't know. This reminds me of kind of like the Southwest colors, you know, turquoise, you know, terracotta-y colors, neutrals. I'm sure you could do some really beautiful looks, but I could see if I were to purchase this palette, I'd use it 3 or 4 times and then not use it again. And I am not going to continue to add palettes to my collection that I know I'm not going to get good use out of. So this is a no for me. If you got this or if these colors really call to you, let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are. ColourPop has a collab up, and it's the Make It Black collab. And I think this is interesting because 100% of the proceeds support Black founders through the newly established Pull Up for Change Impact Fund. But I'll tell you, I don't know. The eyeshadow palette is super intimidating to me. Although those really saturated colors are so pretty, I just would never use those. The lippy sticks though, It's been a while since I've had a ColourPop lippy stick. And are those Super Shock eyeshadows, or are they must be eyeshadow. Yeah, they're eyeshadows. They're not Cheek products. Those and the lippy sticks, maybe. ColourPop has been so much release, 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 release. I don't know whether it's the products aren't exciting to me anymore or whether I'm just so vexed that they will not slow down and let me catch my breath and keep up with them. I feel like every time I turn around, there's something new. There's the Melrose thing. There's, you know, their recent Valentine's release. There's this Make It Black collection. It's just been so much. Like, I don't even know. Now, if I could walk into a store and look at it, I might be willing to get the Super Shocks because I love Super Shock eyeshadows, and I might be willing to pick up a lippy stick or two because those are the two products that I fell in love with. They're the reason that I have an enduring love for ColourPop, is those two formulations. But I'm probably not going to get anything from this collection, but I still am a little vexed. Like, ColourPop, please slow down. Let us catch our breath. So there's something new from Milk. This is their electric glossy lip plumper. It comes in one of those squeezy tubes. It has kind of like the slanted applicator. Okay, but they're charging $25 for each one. I'm like, $25 for a lip gloss? What does it do? I don't know. It's supposed to be an ultra cushiony gel lip plumper that's comfortable, has a slight tingling and sensation, and gives you the appearance of fuller, smoother, softer lips over time. Well, I think that's true if you put anything hydrating on your lips. There are very few lip glosses that I would pay $25 for. I can't think of a single one. And my favorite, like, glossy, softening, good for my lips over time product that it's not even $25 and you get, I think, a lot more, is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I find that on days that I'm not wearing lipstick, that I'm not wearing lip gloss, I am at least wearing this. I have been wearing it nonstop this winter, and it's a good thing because it's like a crazy snowy day outside. But I could never see myself paying $25 for one of these. Can't. ColourPop's Valentine's Day collection. There are 3 eyeshadow palettes. None of them look that intriguing to me. I thought their little heart-shaped blushes were cute, but none of those colors really caught my attention. I am not all about the glittery Super Shock shadow that they put out in the Soul Body packaging. I don't know, and the dry body oil, I'm not that kind of gal. I know I'm not. Their little heart stamp is super cute, but when was the last time you saw me stamp any shape on my face? This is definitely not a collection for me. This is a collection for a younger person, and that's fine. I get that. There is something that's interesting that I was looking for the other day. I saw this post on Trend Mood and I went to Sephora's website, but it's not available yet. There is a company called Liss Beauty. It's a clean color cosmetics Black-owned brand, but I'll tell you, it was their triangular shaped compacts that had me going, what is that? That's interesting. I know I shouldn't be purchasing things based on the packaging that it comes in. It's what is the product like. But what's interesting here is that it looks like it's fairly reasonably priced. It feels kind of like a high-end drugstore price range. And when I'm thinking high-end drugstore, I'm thinking like Physicians Formula, L'Oreal, Flower Beauty, where it's not like your less expensive, but it's more like in the $12 to $18 range for their products, because they have products that are like 18, 22, 20, 12. I'm like, yeah, that's a good price range, and it's a Sephora brand, but I like the idea of being able to try a brand I'd never tried before, and that it's a Black beauty owned brand. The last thing I wanted to talk about today is something that's already available, but when I saw it, I instantly was like, ooh, what is that? I didn't end up getting it. I don't know that I won't get it. I haven't decided on that yet. But it is the Color Chalks by Milk Makeup. They are really interesting. They come in this little plastic tube that has a little flip top on it. And it's basically, it looks like a piece of chalk wrapped up in pretty paper that coordinates the color of the chalk. So the blue chalk comes with blue paper, the green chalk comes with green paper, which great, whatever. But the idea is that you're able to reuse the plastic packaging and peel off the paper around the piece of chalk as you use more and more of it. They're $18 a piece, and it was the price that kind of made me go, That and the swatches, because like when you see them all lined up together like as little pieces of chalk, they look so pretty and so interesting, and I was really intrigued, but then, and maybe it's because the swatches were so small, I couldn't tell if some were matte and some were shimmer. I couldn't tell if any had like glittery pieces and chunks. I don't know. I don't know. So basically they're supposed to be able to be used on the eyelids, cheeks, lips, anywhere you want buildable shimmering, oh I guess shimmering payoff. But I really couldn't figure out what shade I was gonna get, if I was gonna get one, and then I didn't want to pay $18 for a piece of chalk that came in a plastic tube. I know, but I was instantly intrigued, and it's products like this, something that I've never seen before that makes me go, what is that? I want to try that. And that's what I love about makeup. When something is so different than what we've seen, the formula is different, the presentation is different. It's those sorts of things that pull me in. And maybe there has been a product like this before that is, you know, chalk-like, but this was super intriguing to me. I don't know. Probably not, but who knows, maybe. Well, thank you so much for watching today. Let me just remind you that I am using the money from my Google AdSense that I get from the ads that you watch to be able to buy things that you're interested in. So if you have a request for me to try a product and have me let you know about it, I would love to know what that is. If I get enough requests for the same product, I would definitely be willing to purchase it and review it for you. Let me know if you have any requests in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you're looking at any of these and you're like, that's for me, I need it right now, or whether it's something you're definitely gonna pass on. Because I think the idea of kind of going through and looking at evaluating makeup is something that's really, people's thought process always intrigues me, and sometimes it makes me look at things differently as well. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.